What's going on, guys? Mitch here. Today we were checking out a Sram GX Eagle build kit. So this guy I got on a really good deal for the Krampus build, and as you can see, it is a final sale item. So by the time this guy comes out, I'm not sure what will have been replaced on this, but as you know, a lot of the guys out there are going to the AXS version or the electronic shifting version. And I'm not. I'm keeping it mechanical for the Krampus, just keeping it simple. So let's crack into this kit and take a look at what's included and talk about it. So off the hop, it opens up quite nicely, which is fantastic. Probably because these kits are modular and they include a bunch of different stuff. We've got different trigger mount for the shifter, which is cool. Comes with a 12-speed GX Eagle chain, which 126 links, so quite big, which is awesome because that cassette should be pretty big as well. We've got an aluminum crankset in here. You know, a lot of people ask, should you go carbon on a crankset? Depends on the kind of bike. For a mountain bike, you know, I've had carbon cranksets. I've done the big spend on that. Personally, on my tall boy, on my Mega Tower, I just go standard aluminum. It's an aluminum mountain bike crankset. They're good enough. They're light enough. The dub system's great as well, so that means it's 28.99 mil spindle on this guy, and the tension adjust on here is really terrific as well, instead of having to add spacers. So I like aluminum and simple, cheap, that kind of thing. The trigger shifter, because this is a 1x12, I'm glad it comes with a shifter cable, didn't know that, but pretty simple, couple different mounts. This guy is not adjustable on the actual trigger itself, where there'd be a little Allen key here that you can kind of clock the angle of the thumb paddle. Not a big deal. I usually keep it right where it is. I might move this guy inward a little bit because I have bigger hands, but not a big deal. GX, always been solid. I've got it on the tall boy right now without issue. So that's the first kit that comes with this. All right, onto the crank arm. So this is the drive side of the crankset. So we've got a 32 tooth X-Sync, I believe they call it, X-Sync 2. So that's basically just a narrow wide chain retention system, which keeps it from dropping off, so you don't need a chain guide necessarily. Adjusts on the back here with these 3 bolts, which that's kind of a proprietary setup for SRAM, but solid aluminum crankset, nothing too crazy. They're light enough, strong enough. You're not going to need to change that out anytime soon. We've got the GX Eagle mechanical derailleur here with the tension lock here, so when you take your wheel off, you push this button down like that, and it'll hold itself in place to take things on and off. Undo to release the tension, nothing crazy. We've got the nice little mechanical cable that comes in and around, so it doesn't have to get cut at a point, which is nice, or pinched, sorry. SRAM stuff, it's been solid. Like I said, it's going on a Krampus, so just needs to be reliable. Don't need to worry too much about any of the electronics and whatnot. This guy, I'm assuming, without looking at it, some kind of a template for who knows. Okay, next up, so that is the second layer. Next up, the Big Daddy, the cassette here, Big Daddy. So this guy should be a 9 or 10 tooth. I'm thinking this guy's a 10 tooth. I don't know. Where the heck does it say it? 1052. So I'm running a 50 tooth top on my other bikes now. So I guess they bumped this up to 52 on the top ring to compete with Shimano's 51 tooth. But you know, hey, you spend a lot of time in that big tall gear, the extra 2 teeth. Not going to make a whole lot of difference, other than kind of make the jump from the second to first gear a little bit weird, I'm guessing. But you know what? It's on a 1x, the top end range is where you need the most spacing, and then in the middle of the cassette's probably, you know, down here is where you're going to be riding most of the trail on, I would say. So yeah, it's pretty sweet. Nice. This guy's pinned together and probably stamped on top. So light. The thing weighs hardly anything. But that is a nice little group set to bolt onto the Krampus. Wanted to show you guys what's included in a build kit here. One thing that I would also suggest is with the crank arm is make sure you are using that little spacer here, which should be bolted, yep, which is in that little bag, but that'll save the life of the crank arm itself. If because you're going to be mashing a pedal against something of different metal, and you want it to not transfer into the aluminum crank arm. So that's it. I figured may as well show it this way rather than breaking it down individually. But this is what's going on the Krampus, and yeah, next step, you'll probably see it on the bike, because we're going to kind of push this guy along real quick. So there we go, guys. Any questions, leave them below. Like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. And until next time, we will chat with you around. All right, later.